Hey, this is Keith from Sage Rust. So welcome back. We're going to work on this 1942 Harley frame tonight. This is episode 6. Just a quick recap. We got this frame from a friend who was in an accident 30 years ago. But after talking to him, this bike was actually probably in a more severe accident prior to that. And some of the issues we had to deal with was the seat post was bent. We couldn't even get it into our jig properly until we fixed that. And a few more issues, one of them being the neck that is still not perfect, but we're gonna go with it. So follow along. We're gonna do a quick explanation on what some of the measurements we're gonna be doing, what Harley provides, and just how this frame looks at the back section. Follow along. So we're going to continue on. So one of the first things you got to do is set up the straight edge. Hitting the front down tube, there's a 16th inch spacer at the seat post. And then what you do is you measure off from the inside of that line to your axle plates according to the factory measurements. And from one end, it's about 3 and 13/32, which is basically 3 and 7/16. And right now we are 3 and 5/16. So we're about 1/8 of an inch out. And on this way, we want to be about 5 and 3/8, and we are out by about 1/8. So the distance in between is pretty correct. We just have to kind of shift these over, and we'll do that with just big adjustable wrench. But first, what we got to do is we got to get these axle plates straighter. So what I'll do now is I'll just remove this out of our way. One of the things I'll do is I'll use a straight edge, go off the table because this frame is still squared to the table, and just start running my straight edge along these axle plates. And it gets to be very apparent just how they're bent, they're twisted. So if you look, hope you can see that. See how it hits the axle down here, the axle plate, and it's off by 1/8 of an inch. Kind of go by, and you can see even here, from the top of this to from the bottom of this mount to the top, it's twisted. So what we'll do is we'll take this and we'll just start bending it out. This side is also not straight, but it's this way you can really see it. We'll go here. Try and get a good visual. It's really hard to see it. I can see the gapping in between. Right about there, you can kind of see how there's a space. This is a little bit easier. There you can see the space. So it's hitting on the ends. And then so again, now on this one, it hits at the top, but not the bottom. And you can see it hits on the top of the axle plate, not the bottom. And on this one, you can see, there you go. You can see how it hits the bottom, but not the top. similar there. So what we'll do is we'll just tweak it and try and get these as straight as we can. Open it up a bit so that we got this centered to where it should be. So we have to go an 1/8 of an inch that way, and this one has to come in an 1/8 of an inch this way in. So all we're going to do is just use an adjustable wrench, because I can go to the different thicknesses, and leverage from it. And you can just kind of feel it if you give it a little snap. So even there, just by taking that axle plate, giving it a quick little reef, you can feel it actually bend. You can, that's about the easiest way of saying it. So now, as I showed you before, now this bottom is not touching by about 1/8. So what I'll do is I'll have 2 of them go to kind of keep it straight. Putting leverage on the other side, so I'm not pushing the axle plate out. I'm just twisting them. So just tweaking it a little bit here and there. So we're less than a 1/16 now. So I'm just kind of taking it and I'm pivoting this and it's off the same point. So I'm not moving it, but I'm just pivoting it, and I can kind of run it all along. And that way you can kind of feel if that axle plate's out or in, if I pivot it off the same point. So right now it's touching here, but when I pull this back, it's a maybe 16 to 30 seconds. So just give this a little little persuasion. So this one's pretty good. So on this one, it's going to need a little bit of tweaking up here. Now it's flat on the bottom and flat all along the top here. But I can see in this axle plate it curves in. So what we'll do is open this up. And I can literally watch it just bend over a bit. Nice and square. Nice and square. And nice and square. So it hits the tops and bottoms here, here, and then here, here, all the way up. So when I put it here, it's touching all 4 points. Bottom, top of the bottom piece of the axle, bottom and top of the top piece of the axle. So that's nice and square. And this one, we're just off a bit. So I want to get this one, I want to bend it a little bit in more if I can. So now, with the square edge, it's hitting the bottom and the top, and it's like you can barely see air, see space in between there. So the top's hitting, bottom's hitting, and in the middle it's just off a little bit. So I'm going to put this on like this, because I want to take this and twist it that way. So I put this on here. Put this on here. Not better. We'll just and that's pretty good. One thing I want to do is just measure. We need I think it's an 8, 9, 16 in between. We're about a 16th out. Not even. So we got the axle plates nice and done. I'll put this back in. We'll see about measuring, and we're almost done. So I'm just gonna open up this by like a 16th. So kind of go past that point. Release. Do a quick measurement. Go a little bit more. And that'll do it. We got the correct distance between the two axle plates. Do this measurement again. That looks correct. And that looks correct. So the back end is all done now. It's perfectly in line with your frame tubes, your seat post, and the factory blueprint diagram measurements that Harley provides. So that section's done. So with getting the rear axle all nice and squared and everything and the proper width in between, we're going to call it a day on this frame. And I know some of you are watching, wondering about the neck. I've talked to the owner, and I believe that this casting is bent. Everything with my laser level, every measurement I could think of and take indicates that just this section here is bent in this casting. And like I say, I've done about 8 or 10 of these frames. I'm no expert, but every other frame, when I have that laser level going up the frame tube, centered on the table, going up the frame tube, and it follows center all the way up, it follows the center of this neck, and it's perfect. And the correct distance that Harley provides is there, everything. This one, the neck is twisted a bit, so it's not giving me that perfect distance that Harley provides. I'm off by 1/4 of an inch. Now this frame was out at least an inch when I originally started that measurement, which was very tough because there was a lot going on with this frame. Again, if you watch the other 5 episodes, you're going to see that we had to straighten the seat post before we could even get into the jig, etc., etc. I'm confident about this frame. It'll go down the highway a lot better than even before the last accident, and definitely better before the previous accident before that. So, you know, I wish I could have had this one perfect for you, seeing it's my first series on doing frame straightening for my YouTube channel. But I will do another frame, and I will show you the difference and how I can get it perfect. We got a few more frames coming in from friends, and I have 3 frames myself just sitting there. I've already straightened 2 of them, so I have 1 more that I might look at, but that one was raked, so I'm not even excited about doing that one because the neck's been raked. But let me know what you think about the whole process. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting. I hope you maybe learned something. Again, I wish it could have been perfect, but this frame wouldn't allow me to be perfect on this one. So again, hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. Spring's here. I got to get out of this basement and get on my motorcycles and get them spring ready, and I got to go riding. I'm done with working in this basement. Projects. It's been a great winter. Hope you enjoyed my basement series with all these bikes we've been working on, all these little projects. But now it's time to go work on our running motorcycles and ride them. So thanks again. This is Save to Rust. I'm Keith. This is who we are. This is what we do. Have a great day.